Hello, everyone. Welcome to Engage Citizens of Columbia County. I am your host, Sherry Ryan, and I am so excited. I am being joined by Stephanie Siegmen, who is the candidate for Scappoose School Board. Welcome, Steph.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yes, hey. So thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for putting yourself out to the community and sharing about yourself and sharing your information and just thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
Yes. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
So I have lived in Scappoose and Warren since I was in third grade. I'm the oldest of eight kids. Um, I'm married to my husband of 18 years. We have four kids. Um, Three are currently homeschooled. One is at the high school. And we own a business. Well, we run a business with my dad. My dad's the owner, and we kind of run it with him. And then I also have my own um, breeding or French bulldog breeding business. So, a little about me.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, you just lifelong Scappoose, resident and working here and so that's great. Can you tell us what motivated you to run for Scappoose School Board? What's like, I always ask people, it's just like, what's your why? Why did you want to run?
So, I'm running because I really feel like the board needs more diversity of thought and opinion. And I would really like to bring a conservative voice to that board. There's a lot of parents that feel like their viewpoints are not and their values are not being represented. And so that's my main motivation. I have a lot of ideas, and I've talked to a lot of parents and a lot of teachers.
Mhm.
And I really feel like I can make a difference in the
Yeah,
school
yeah,
or the school district.
yeah. Thank you for sharing that. Everybody has a different reason, really, honestly. But the biggest is, yeah, being a part of our school where our children go and making it a good place and, doing our part. And so, um, that's, what the volunteer part of this is, and I love it. Can you tell us, what does a school board member do? What does that position entail? What is what is their job?
So the school board is elected by the people, and their job is to represent the community, and they are supposed to pass or vote on budgets, curriculum, policies, and make sure that they have a good superintendent that is taking care of the schools and the teachers and the staff.
Hmm, hmm. Just that overview, right? That checks and balances of the district. Okay.
Yeah,
Can
absolutely.
you
The board is the boss of the superintendent, I should say.
okay. They're the boss. So,
That's
what
right.
makes you qualified to be a school board member? What is it that, you bring to the table? Why would you be the person that someone should vote for?
So I am educated.
Hmm.
I love learning. I love researching and problem solving. But I think I bring a unique background because I am a business owner.
Hmm.
And also, I do have experience having a kid in public school and homeschooling.
Yeah.
I don't hear a lot about homeschooling as far as the benefits of it. But it really does bring a unique perspective. I am already reviewing and teaching curriculum,
Mhm.
teaching my kids how to read, finding out what works and what doesn't. And so I think that that really makes me qualified to bring in new ideas
Mhm.
and solve some problems that maybe longtime people are haven't thought about.
Yeah, yeah. That's a great, point to make. I know that, I've read some different things, in the community of being, like you have kids that are homeschooled and you have kids that are in school. So that's a great perspective, and thank you for sharing that with us. And I appreciate that. Um, so, what are some of the things that you see the Scappoose School Board doing well, and like something that you're like, that's really cool. I'm proud of our district for doing that? And then what is something, that looking at the school board where you're like, if I'm elected, I'd like to come in and help, improve this or make a difference in this.
So yeah, one of the things that I think they do really well is they provide Zoom for the school board meetings as well as in person. So
Hmm.
whatever people are able to do and prefer, that really does say a lot about transparency. So that's I respect that. I like that. I think we should continue doing that. Um,
Yeah.
so besides what I talked about earlier about having a conservative voice, I mean,
Yeah.
I think that we can also, um, do a lot of things with getting our kids back to where they used to be before the pandemic. Right now, our reading and math level or test scores are really, really low. And
Yeah.
I know that they are trying to get that up, but I just think that my background, teaching kids how to read,
Yeah.
I think I could bring in a lot of ideas on how to do that. But I also think that we need more classes for our high school students to prepare them for, trade schools or college or just life and careers. Right now we only have 6 classes available, like in a period or not a period, a semester.
Yeah.
And when I was growing up, there were 8, and so we were able to get a lot more classes in, more electives, and I think that's what makes school fun is like trying, new things and having more, other foreign languages, things like that. And right now we only have one foreign language being taught at the high school, and I just think that we're we're kind of shorting our kids a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Because diversity at school, brings kids in. I know when I was in school, I had 8 classes also, when I was in high school, and I went to Scappoose High School, and I had 8 classes, and I totally agree. I was at, the point where Measure 5 started, and so there was some different, cuts and stuff, and I agree. Having more options in classes is so enriching, right, for students. And
Mhm.
so I like that. I like that, and bringing that, to the forefront and just kind of bringing that to the district and stuff. So that's great.
Yeah.
Um, if you were elected, what would be like your mode of, engaging with the community? We know, I've done lots of interviews with other candidates and I've talked to a lot of school board members and such as like the policy with ODE and in our districts too, it can kind of differ, is that the email from like let's say I send an email and where it goes, to the board and where that can go is that it goes through our superintendents and they are the ones that respond and they look at as a team. But what would be something that you would want to do that kind of brings that where you're still available to the community? What would you like to do?
Yeah, I want to be available by email. It doesn't
Okay.
have to be directly to the official school email. I mean, it can
Yeah.
be my personal email and my phone number. I mean, I talked to somebody today. They just called me up and asked me a bunch of questions, and I was happy to talk to them,
Yeah.
and I think some board members feel like, if they do that, they're going to be threatened or, their rights are going to be violated or something like that. But I think people just want to know that they can contact a school board member and tell them how they feel if they want to. That doesn't
Yeah.
mean they're always going to, but, if they have that option, then I think that tells a lot about, our schools, if we're available and we care about their parents, we care about the community, we care about the teachers, because maybe sometimes
Yeah.
they don't want to, um, you know, confide in the whole board. They're just kind of, nervous about one or the other, and they just want to talk to me. So I'm available in that way.
Well, thank you for that. And I will, follow up. I've told all the people that I've interviewed, I'm like, when you, tell me like this is how you're going to engage or these are the things you want to work on, I will follow up on those. I give a great example, each candidate is like, what are some of the things, that like you talked about today? And those are the things if elected, I would contact you and maybe want to have a little check-in to say, how is that going with, having, contact with the community or how are those things going? And then I can like put that out to the community so that people know, where you stand and that provides that transparency and that accountability to our constituents, right? So,
Right.
Steph, thank you so much for joining me and just sharing about yourself and your thoughts and your ideas. And so, I hope to talk to you again soon and good luck.
All right. Thank you so much.
Okay,
Bye.
thank you. Bye bye.
Uh-huh. Bye.